Hi guys, in this special lesson today, you can learn about how to solve gate questions on Fourier transform. I know even after studying the topic Fourier transform, some learners find it difficult to solve questions based on that. Is that true for yourself? However, there are some simple things you can do to improve your problem solving skill on Fourier transform. And not only that, there are certain things to remember, properties and formulas related to Fourier transform, which will in turn makes it easier for you to solve questions based on that. If you want to know more about it, keep watching this session with me. My name is Abhisha. You are watching Crack Easy, the place to learn how to crack easy exams. Have you subscribed this channel? If you haven't, please do it and don't forget to press the bell button. In this particular video, we are going to solve GATE 2004 questions on Fourier transform. Look at first question. Let x of n is equal to 1 by 2 whole raised to n u of n. Y of n is equal to x square of n and y of e raised to j omega be the Fourier transform of y of n. Then y of e raised to j0. Four options are given. Option A 1 by 4, option B 2, option C 4 and option D 4 by 3. Let us first analyze this question. Here we have a discrete time signal x of n and another discrete time signal y of n is defined in terms of x of n. We are asked to find out the value of Fourier transform of y of n at omega is equal to 0. So let's do that. Here x of n is defined as 1 by 2 all raised to n u of n and y of n is defined in terms of x of n as x square of n. When we this x of n with this expression, we get y of n is equal to 1 by 2 all raised to n u of n whole square, which can be expressed as 1 by 2 all raised to 2n into u square of n. Now, can anybody tell me what is this u of n? It's nothing but unit step sequence. Do you know how it is defined? It is defined as 1 for n equal to 0 to infinity and 0 for n less than 0. So, it looks like this. It is defined as 1 for n equal to 0 to infinity and 0 for n less than 0. Now, we are going to multiply this u of n with another u of n. From this waveform, it is clear that when we multiply u of n with another u of n, the result will be u of n itself. So we can write u square of n is equal to u of n into u of n, that is equal to u of n. Here y of n is obtained as 1 by 2 whole raised to 2n u square of n. When we replace u square of n with u of n, we get y of n is equal to 1 by 2 whole raised to 2n u of n. Now we are going to find out Fourier transform of this signal y of n. Fourier transform of a discrete time signal y of n is mathematically defined as y of e raised to j omega is equal to sigma n equal to minus infinity to infinity y of n e raised to minus j omega. When we replace y of n with 1 by 2 all raised to 2n u of n, we get y of e raised to j omega is equal to sigma n equal to minus infinity to infinity 1 by 2 whole raised to 2n u of n e raised to minus j omega n. Got it? As you know, u of n, the unit step sequence, is defined as 1 for n equal to 0 to infinity and 0 for n less than 0. Correspondingly, the value of this term becomes 0 for n less than 0 and for n greater than 0, we can replace u of n with 1. So, we get y of e raised to j omega is equal to sigma n equal to 0 to infinity 1 by 4 all raised to n e raised to minus j omega n. Thus, we obtained the Fourier transform of discrete time signal y of n. Hope you remember in the question we are asked to find out the value of Fourier transform at omega equal to 0. So we replace this omega with 0 and get y of e raised to j0 is equal to sigma n equal to 0 to infinity 1 by 4 all raised to n e raised to minus j0 n. As you know, the value of e raised to j0 is 1. Hence we get it as sigma n equal to 0 to infinity 1 by 4 whole raised to n. After expanding it, we get y of e raised to j0 as 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 whole square plus etc. Now you look at this expression. Have you ever seen this type of expression? It's nothing but sum of GP with infinite number of terms. First term 1 and common ratio 1 by 4. In fact, sum of geometric progression with the infinite number of terms is defined as a by 1 minus r, where a is the first term and r is the common ratio. Here the first term a is 1 and common ratio r is 1 by 4. Correspondingly, we get y of e raised to j0 is equal to 1 by 1 minus 4, that is 4 by 3. Thus, our answer is option D. Let us move ahead and see next question. A signal x of n is equal to sine omega 0 n plus phi is the input to a LTI system having a frequency response h of e raised to j omega. If the output of the system is a x of n minus n0, the most general form of angle of h of e raised to j omega will be. 4 options are given. Option A, minus n0 omega 0 plus beta for any arbitrary real. Option B, minus n0 omega 0 plus 2 pi k for any arbitrary integer k. Option C, n0 omega 0 plus 2 pi k for any arbitrary integer k. And option D, minus n0 omega 0 phi. Let us first analyze this question. Here we have an LTI system. Its input is given as sine omega 0 n plus phi and output is defined as a into x of n minus n0. We are asked to find out the nature of angle of frequency response h of e raised to j omega. Alright, so we can write the output of the LTI system y of n is equal to a into x of n minus n0. Now we are going to take Fourier transform on both sides of this equation. I hope you all know that Fourier transform of y of n is represented as y of e raised to j omega and that of x of n is represented as x of e raised to j omega. So here Fourier transform of this y of n is y of e raised to j omega. That is equal to, what is Fourier transform of x of n minus n0? We know Fourier transform of x of n is x of e raised to j omega. How can we find Fourier transform of x of n minus n0? For determining the Fourier transform of x of n minus n0, we are going to use time shifting property of Fourier transform. Now have a look at time shifting property. If Fourier transform of x of n is x of e raised to j omega, then Fourier transform of x of n minus n0 is e raised to minus j omega n0 x of e raised to j omega, where n0 is a constant. In the property, we can write Fourier transform of a x of n minus n0 as a e raised to minus j omega n0 x of e raised to j omega. So this is our y of n and this is our y of e raised to j omega. The frequency response h of e raised to j omega of an LTI system is defined as y of e raised to j omega by x of e raised to j omega, where y of e raised to j omega is the Fourier transform of output and x of e raised to j omega is the Fourier transform of input. From this expression, we get h of e raised to j omega as a e raised to minus j omega 0 and 0. Thus, we obtained the frequency response. Now we have to focus on its angle. From this expression, we can write angle of h of e raised to j omega is equal to minus omega 0 and 0. In fact, the phase and angle of an LTI system is periodic with period 2 pi. Correspondingly, the general form of angle of h of e raised to j omega, that is theta of omega, can be written as minus n0 omega 0 plus 2 pi k. Thus, our answer is option B. Got it? Let me now take you to next question. For a signal x of t, the Fourier transform is x of f. Then the inverse Fourier transform of x of 3f plus 2 is given by option A, 1 by 2 x of t by 2 e raised to j 3 pi t. Option B, 1 by 3 x of t by 3 e raised to minus j 4 pi t by 3. Option C, 3 x of 3t e raised to minus j 4 pi t. And option D, x of 3t plus 2. Here we have a signal x of t. Its Fourier transform is given as x of f. We are asked to find out inverse Fourier transform of x of 3f plus 2. Do you know how to solve this question? I hope you all understood that we have to use properties of Fourier transform to solve this particular question. Which properties? That's what we are going to look at next. The first property we are going to use is frequency shifting property. According to this property, if x of f is the Fourier transform of x of t, then x of f plus f0 is the Fourier transform of e raised to minus j2 pi f0 t x of t. In the question, we are asked to find out inverse Fourier transform of x of 3f plus 2. Let us first find the inverse Fourier transform of x of f plus 2 using this property. Based on this property, we can write inverse Fourier transform of x of f plus 2 as e raised to minus j2 pi into 2t x of t. Got it? The next property we are going to use is scaling property. According to this property, if x of f and x of t are Fourier transform pairs, then x of at and 1 by mod a x of f by a are also Fourier transform pairs, where a is the scaling factor. We already obtained inverse Fourier transform of x of f plus 2, and we are asked to find out inverse Fourier transform of x of 3f plus 2, which means we had to introduce a scaling with a factor 3, and for that we are going to use this property. Based on this property, we can write the inverse Fourier transform of 3 into x of 3f plus 2 as e raised to minus j4 pi t by 3 x of t by 3, or inverse Fourier transform of our desired quantity x of 3f plus 2 as 1 by 3 e raised to minus j4 by 3 pi t x of t by 3. Thus, our answer is option B. Clear? Moving on to next question. Let x of n be a signal like this, and y of n is defined as x of n by 2 minus 1 for an even and 0 for an odd. The Fourier transform of y of 2n will be. 4 options are given. Here we are given with the waveform of a discrete time signal x of n. Another discrete time signal y of n is defined in terms of x of n. And we are asked to find out Fourier transform of y of 2n. So what we need to do is first we have to obtain the elements of discrete time signal y of n, then that of y of 2n, finally find Fourier transform of y of 2n. Let us first find out value of y of minus 2. Based on this definition, y of minus 2 can be written as x of minus 2 by 2 minus 1. That is x of minus 2. From this waveform, it is clear that x of minus 2 is 1 by 2. Thus, we get y of minus 2 as 1 by 2. Then what about y of minus 1? Since n is odd, we can directly write it as 0. Then y of 0, which can be written as x of 0 minus 1, that is x of minus 1. X of minus 1 is 1. Y of 1 can be directly equated to 0. Y of 2, that is equal to x of 2 by 2 minus 1, that is x of 0, that is equal to 2. Y of 3 can be directly equated to 0 since it is an odd number. Y of 4 can be written as x of 4 by 2 minus 1, that is x of 2 minus 1, that is x of 1. X of 1 is 1. Y of 5 can be directly equated to 0. Y of 6 as x of 6 by 2 minus 1, that is x of 3 minus 1, x of 2, that is equal to 1 by 2. So we get y of n is signal like this. Next we are going to obtain z of n, that is equal to y of 2n. Z of 0 can be written as y of 2 into 0, that is y of 0, that is 1. Z of 1 can be written as y of 2 into 1, that is y of 2, that is 2. In the similar manner, we find all the elements of z of n and get a waveform like this. Next, we are going to express z of n as sum of shifted impulses. It is for simplifying our further analysis. Z of n can be expressed as 1 by 2 del of n plus 1 plus del of n plus 2 del of n minus 1 plus del of n minus 2 plus half into del of n minus 3. I hope you all know Fourier transform of del of n is 1. And we are going to use a property. If Fourier transform of x of n is x of e raised to j omega, then that of x of n minus n0 is e raised to minus j omega n0 x of e raised to j omega. This is known as time shifting property of Fourier transforms. Based on this property, we can write Fourier transform of z of n, z of e raised to j omega as 1 by 2 e raised to j omega plus 1 plus 2 e raised to minus j omega plus e raised to minus j omega 2 plus half into e raised to minus j 3 omega. Then by rearranging this, we get z of e raised to j omega is e raised to minus j omega cos 2 omega plus 2 cos omega plus 2. Thus, our answer is option C. Got it? So, we are at the end of this session. Hope you all enjoyed it. If you have any doubts, please do let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. Thank you.